Y'all, it looks like we're starting to see Jay-Z's downfall because rapper Eve just spilled some tea about him in her memoir, and it looks like he's not exactly the great and supportive guy that he's been trying to convince us for years that he is. Eve and Jay-Z go way back. While they're not besties, they've known each other since the 90s. According to Eve, Jay-Z has allegedly been hating on her since the 90s, and it looks like he might have actively tried to sabotage Eve's career to keep her down. But that's not all, because some fresh tea recently resurfaced about Jay-Z's outside kids that he has outside his marriage with Beyonce. And y'all need to get on this drama real quick because it's about to get wild. If y'all have been following Eve, then you know that she has been at the top of her game for years. She has dropped 4 albums, and even though her last album in 2013 kind of underperformed, her first 3 albums were fire. They all peaked at the top 10 of the Billboard Hot 200, and her debut studio album, Let There Be Eve, Rough Riders First Lady, was a smash hit. The album was released in 1999, and even though there was a lot of competition in female rap at the time, the album still performed well. And by competition, I'm talking about female rappers who were actually talented and knew how to hop on a beat. I'm not trying to be shady, I'm just saying. Anywho, the album sold about 200,000 in the first week alone and debuted at the very top of the Billboard Hot 100. It was a huge moment for her, and she celebrated as she should have. Pulling those numbers as a rookie on your first album is nothing short of impressive, but while she was celebrating the album's release, Jay-Z called her. Now, he claimed that he wanted to congratulate her, but the things he said weren't exactly congratulatory. She revealed in her new memoir that when she dropped her album, Jay-Z called her and told her not to get her hopes too high because female rap doesn't do too well. Girl, say what now? According to reports in the book, she details an incident that occurred on the day she dropped her debut album, Let There Be Eve, the Rough Riders First Lady, in 1999. Eve alleges that she received a call from rapper Jay-Z congratulating her, but telling her not to get her hopes up because female rappers don't really do that well. Child, that's one nasty thing to say to someone when they're celebrating something major like that. Eve ended up proving him wrong because, like I said, the album ended up moving over 200,000 copies and has sold more than 2 million copies to date. Now, I don't know if Jay-Z was being a misogynist or was deliberately trying to damper Eve's mood and take away from her success, or if he was being genuine and was just trying to look out for her, but either way, that should have stayed in the drafts because it was all so unnecessary. However, Eve defended Jay-Z, saying that he probably didn't mean it in a bad way.
That was one of those, I always felt like I was the underdog anyway, and he wasn't saying it out of malice or mean. That wasn't about that. It was facts, really.
It felt like he was trying to temper your expectations.
Yes, exactly. But I was like, okay. Let me see. I'm gonna show you.
However, fans don't buy this and they think that Jay-Z was being sneaky. They said Jay-Z literally told Eve, good luck with your album, but don't get your hopes up because female rap doesn't really sell. And y'all trying to tell me he not a hater? That's why he can't stand Nicki. Her run is legendary. She was never supposed to last 15+ years in his eyes. And that Jay-Z doc going slap right after they done exposing Diddy. And speaking of Jay-Z being exposed, the streets are now talking about one of Jay-Z's biggest secrets that could ruin everything for him. And that's word of his outside babies. Y'all know how there have been reports of Jay-Z cheating on Beyonce? Well, there are also some lesser known rumors about how he has multiple outside babies on her. While he allegedly paid some of his supposed baby mamas off, there is one who's still fighting to be acknowledged by Jay-Z, and that's a young man called Ramir Satterthwaite. So for anyone who hasn't been keeping up with this drama, Ramir is saying that back in the 90s, Jay-Z and his mom Wanda had a little fling. Apparently they did use protection, but it didn't work, and that's how Ramir came into the picture. Wanda couldn't get in touch with Jay-Z after that because they lost contact. When Ramir was born, her boyfriend at the time ended up signing the birth certificate. According to an insider, her on-off boyfriend at the time, Robert, knew the baby wasn't his, but put his name on the birth certificate while Wanda was unconscious, recovering from the birth. Initially, he felt sorry for Wanda, but later he used it so he could collect extra food stamps and benefits. Both were minors at the time, so he shouldn't have signed anything. Ramir's been spilling even more tea, saying that when he was just 8, his mom Wanda dropped the bomb that Jay-Z was his real dad. She apparently tried everything to reach him, hoping he'd step up and take responsibility, but kept getting shut down by lawyers and publicists. But Wanda was a fighter. She didn't back down. She took the legal route and went after Jay-Z in court to find out if he was really Ramir's biological father. Unfortunately, the judge threw the case out, saying the court didn't have jurisdiction. Sadly, Wanda passed away Beyonce not long after, but before she did, she signed a sworn affidavit declaring that Sean Carter, aka Jay-Z, was indeed Ramir's father. You'd think all this would finally push Jay-Z to take some action, but nope, he's been silent. So Ramir, with the help of his guardian, Lily Coley, decided to file a civil lawsuit in December 2014, revealing they've been trying to get Jay-Z to agree to a DNA test. By this point, the drama had been simmering for 4 years. Jay-Z maintained he wasn't the father, yet for some strange reason, he wouldn't take the test. Like seriously, you'd think he'd just get it over with, right? Now, this lawsuit has been dragging on for about 10 years, 14 if you include Wanda's initial lawsuit, and Jay-Z still refusing. That's pretty suspicious. Ramir was upset about the situation and he agreed to do a sit-down interview with The Sun Online where he denied that he was after Jay-Z's money, saying, "I don't want money or anything like that from Jay-Z. I just want him to finally tell the truth to the world. He's supposed to be a positive role model for our community. He stands there screaming Black Lives Matter. Well, tell the truth and take responsibility. And if you say I'm not your son and nothing ever happened with my mom, then just take the test. If you are telling the truth, then why is this your first answer whenever you're asked to take a paternity test?" No. His guardian, Lily, also spoke, and we finally found out something interesting about the situation, and that's the fact that Jay-Z had knocked Wanda up when she was only 16 and he was 22. Yeah, the math was starting to math, and Lily said Wanda was only 16 when she allegedly met Sean, but she may have told him she was older. She fell pregnant but had no idea how to contact him. To be fair, Lily did reveal that Wanda told Jay-Z she was 18, so he had no idea about her real age. But even if it wasn't technically his fault, it would still make him look bad. Fans have been giving him the side eye for years because he seems to have a pattern of going for young women before they hit legal age. Think Beyonce, Aaliyah, Foxy Brown. It's quite the track record. So if word got out that he got Wanda pregnant when she was just 16, it would be a seriously bad look for him. Lily thinks the age situation is a big reason why Jay-Z has been avoiding Ramir. When she and Ramir first tried to reach out to his lawyers to settle things quietly, they were surprisingly open to keep it private and work things out behind the scenes. She even said they offered to sign Ramir to Jay-Z's label, but she turned that down. She said, "I got a call from his in-house lawyer and they were very helpful, and we thought we would resolve this privately. They even talked about Ramir's music talent and whether it was a good time to put him on his record label, but he had to finish high school, so I said no." Suddenly, different lawyers got involved and their attitude completely changed. I think they realized there was more at stake for Sean, given that Wanda was allegedly underage. It's not surprising that Ramir was getting frustrated because, child, I'm getting frustrated on his behalf.
And I'm not pointing no fingers. I'm just asking everybody, all the judges or anybody who's working on the case, to do what's right and do their job the correct way. Even if you overlook something or didn't see something, everybody makes mistakes, as I said before. But, you know, it's time to actually do your job and look at everything and get it correct. Because, you know, you cannot use fraud to continue anything in this world. You can't use fraud to help you get forward in life. Then, you know, try to continue on your fraud.
To make things messier, Jay-Z and Beyonce were accused of shading Ramir in their song Heard About Us. They accused Ramir of chasing clout and said, "Billie Jean in his prime, for the 1,000th time, the kid ain't mine. Online they call me dad kiddingly. You're not supposed to take this dad thing literally. That's too famous. We don't even really do famous. I'm cool on that. Chuck the 2 fingers. Every day I'm getting sued. I show up to court without a suit. Your every move is on the news, ain't it? Ish has his perks too, ain't it?" His guardian, Lily, also revealed in an interview with Liz Crokin that multiple insiders said it was Beyonce who was convincing Jay-Z not to take the test.
But
Yeah,
people were saying that she's a big part of the problem for him, and some of the things that she was doing, a woman would not, she would have some sort of role in what her husband does. And if she was secure with herself and with the situation, not saying you gotta like it,
Right.
Who would help her husband.
Well, the streets have been saying that Beyonce doesn't want Jay-Z to acknowledge that he had outside babies on her. Now, we don't know if this is true or if people are making stuff up, but it does kind of make sense that she would want her kids to be his only kids as well. Child, it looks like we're finally starting to see Jay-Z's downfall, and fans commented, "Avoiding doing the DNA test is a major red flag. I'm sorry, because if you're not the father, just do it to close the entire chapter. Also, if he indeed is the father, then isn't it predatory considering he was 22 whilst the mother was 16? Dodging a paternity test for 10 years is wild. He definitely the daddy. And Jay has done a good job covering his tracks, but the fact he dodging doing a paternity test for 10 years should tell you that this is likely his kid." Anywho, drop your thoughts in the comments and then check out this next video.